Hello everyone, happy Saturday. The connection might be a little spotty right now since I just started the video, but I want to welcome you to my page. Thank you so much for checking this out either now or later. So without further ado, if you don't know me, my name is Max. I am a life purpose coach. I help light workers clear their energetic blocks to abundance, help them find purpose, and strengthen their connection with their higher self. So super excited to have you here. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. What's up, dude? Thanks for joining. Guided meditation, and then I'm just gonna go over what we're gonna cover in today's little session. It's going to be all about connecting with your spirit animal. So common misconceptions about power animals, how to strengthen your intuition and discover your gifts, connecting with animals versus connecting with your spirit animals, discovering your innate abilities and drawing upon the strengths of the animal kingdom, safely invoking guides and utilizing discernment, and recognizing how spirit is trying to get your attention and how to ask for help. And finally, how to expand your practice as a healer or coach by integrating the energy of the angelic. That's another video of the animal kingdom. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the meditation. So I'd go ahead and just close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths. Focusing on the heart center. And just forget about whatever you did earlier today or what you're going to do after this or even tomorrow, or just as much as possible, as much as you feel comfortable, draw your essence into your body and be here now. And now making the conscious decision to send back any energies that no longer serve you or any energies that do not belong to you, just sending them back to, or sending them forward with your blessing to wherever they need to go. And not calling back your energy from any people or places or circumstances where you might have left a part of your energy. Calling back full integration of your wholeness. Now visualize a bright white light at the top of your head. And as you breathe, naturally bring it down slowly from the top of your head, down into your heart. Let it find a home within your heart. And with each breath, send that white light to every cell of your body. Very nice. And now we call upon and invoke our animal spirit guides that wish to serve and wish to connect with us either today or in the future or even a couple days from now. Just being open to their help and their signs and their encouragement. Awesome. So I am super passionate about spirit guides, but animal spirit guides in general, because they have really blown me away, so to speak. My first experience with an animal spirit guide was probably a little bit different than most. My animal spirit guide at the time was white tiger, and I feel like the white tiger does kind of stick with me as kind of probably my main animal spirit guide. But it was funny because I actually had my first tangible experience with a non-physical entity, like in my friend's house. I was hanging out in his basement, and I had a feeling that something was in the room watching me, and it was this really eerie feeling, and I was looking around the room and scanning, and I see this rope, and it looks like, when you're driving down the road on a hot day and you see like that aura of like heat coming from the road. It was like that, but it was like around this rope, and I was like, what the hell? And out of nowhere, the rope just stood up and started shaking like a snake, and I was like, what the hell? But at the same time, I had this immense feeling of protection all of a sudden, and and this power, and I just immediately felt like a tiger energy coming in and just mitigating that energy completely. And it was really strange because I really wasn't really deep into my spirituality, and I wasn't really aware of what was going on, but later on I realized what happened. So going back to the agenda for today, common misconception about power animals. So you guys have probably all heard about a spirit animal before. Like, it's kind of almost a catchphrase nowadays to be like, oh my god, like Beyonce is my spirit animal, or like I said in my post earlier, like, just because you're lazy and you don't move around fast doesn't mean that your spirit animal is a sloth. It's a lot deeper than that, and different cultures on our planet have really recognized the power of this animal kingdom. Namely, in Native Americans, we I'm part Native American, and in our culture, we really have a lot of value from the animal kingdom, not just the animal, but all aspects of nature. But we really feel connected with it. And when I was in Hawaii and I learned about the Aumakua, the animal spirit guides of the families, that was really trippy, because I feel like a lot of these cultures of the past have really showed us that animals are not just here for our entertainment, and they're not just here for a source of food. Like, they're much more involved in our path and our journey of ascension, and I feel like the animals that are still here on the planet that haven't been extinct yet and haven't graduated to that next level of existence and exited the planet are here to be with us. I firmly believe that dragons and unicorns and all like these mythological creatures that are animal have been here before, but they dug out because they're like, okay, y'all humans are fucking crazy. Like, you do what you got to do with this planet. I'm out of here. See ya. We're going to a different dimension. But we're still able to connect with these energies. Like, for me, I connect with the phoenix energy and the dragon energy a lot. And super transformative. But common misconceptions is like that you like have to have like an elder or a chief, or like you're not allowed to have a spirit animal unless you're like a Native Hawaiian or like a Native American. And I think that's a fallacy, and that's like saying that only black people can drink water. Like, God gave us dragons and routes and favorite. Yeah, they're pretty cool. That's like God saying, I have bestowed thee of water, and only the black people can drink water. Like, that's not how it works. Like, we all have the ability to connect with these amazing beings. And so don't get tripped up if you like feel like you have a spirit animal, or it's made itself clear to you and you're like making it up. Like, you're probably getting connected with your animal, and it's probably trying to teach you and show you a better way to live your life. So I told you earlier that my goal and my intention is to connect people with their higher self, and I feel like connecting with your spirit animal, connecting with your own energy will really help to strengthen your intuition and to help you discover your gifts. So, for example, I'm a clairsentient, I'm clairaudient, I have clear feeling, clear seeing, clear hearing. So I interpret getting in touch with these animal energies in a variety of ways, and tapping into these energies has helped me to strengthen my gifts and realize when help is trying to connect with me. What was I going to say? Can you tell I'm nervous? I'm trying to get on these lives a little bit more often, but I feel like, got this. Go ahead. All right. Anyway, so really getting into your meditation and getting in touch with your own energy is really going to put you in a place where you're able to identify when you're getting in contact with these beings of light, these beings of energy that want to assist you. And so let's say that you maybe have a vision of an animal, or you have just a feeling that the energy is around you. Like, you like can't explain it, but you just have like I said earlier, like just feeling that tiger energy. It was kind of a mixture of feeling it and seeing it. So just noticing those, writing it down, paying more attention to when these energies are trying to connect with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Anyway, so moving forward, connecting with animals versus your spirit animals. So we have the ability to connect with animals just as easily as we do connecting with our spirit animals. for example, when I first got my dog, and we have this like super intense connection just because we're around each other every day. I know her energy, she knows my energy. But back when I was in Hawaii and I first got her, I was like cleaning my car or something, and I just kind of looked over to her and I was like, "Hey, what's up, baby girl? Like, what's your favorite toy?" And I was just like playing around, and out of nowhere, instantaneously, I got a mental image of my head of a golf ball, and paired with that was the location of the golf ball. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what? Did she just answer me? And I was like, okay, this is weird. Just so, for shits and giggles, I went and I looked in the place that I saw in my mind. And this is not the only time it happened. I'm going to tell you more stories later. I'm so excited. But I looked and it was there. So it was weird because I didn't see my dog put that ball there. I didn't know it was there, and just for me to pick up on that was like trippy for me. So I was like, there's definitely something there. There's definitely that we have abilities to connect with these animals, but we're just not really understanding. And that's why I get kind of irritated when people say like rude shit to their dogs. Like they say, oh, my dog's cute but he's stupid as shit, or like, I'm like, oh dude, like maybe they don't understand our words, but they definitely understand our energy and our intention. So think about that next time when your dog's tearing up your stuff and you keep calling him names and hitting him. Yeah, just saying. So the difference between connecting with your animals and your spirit animals is you really can pick up on the energy kind of the same way, but one is they're in person. It was when I got my first dog, I was literally like picking up a long lost family member. When he got anxious, I can feel. No, totally, yeah. You can get really in tune with your animals. It's crazy. Sorry, I digress. Which is probably going to be my tagline for all these videos. Like, da 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 da. I digress. Going back to what I was saying because I got ADD and my mind is everywhere. But anyway, you can pick up on these energies kind of the same. Like animals are going to connect with you with telepathy, regardless if they're in the physical or if they're in the non-physical. So I'll probably touch on that a little bit later when I go forward. And I'll give you different examples. But discovering your innate abilities and drawing upon the strengths of the animal kingdom is the biggest part of what I wanted to get across to you all today. And for me, the energies of animals that I connect the most with, especially right now, is the octopus. Like in different social circumstances, whether it's like at work or like I'm with friends or with family, the octopus has taught me ways to just kind of shapeshift and kind of change my mannerisms, not just to like be fake or anything, but just for fun. Like just there's so many levels and facets of your being, and just to express one of them is like silly, and just trying to conform to one of them is like kind of tying yourself down. So getting in touch with the different aspects of yourself, like I've had jobs before where people have literally come up to me and saying like, you're so mysterious, you're I don't understand you just because you're all over the place. Like one day you're energetic, one day you're quiet, one day you're kind of sassy, one day you're like super nice. Like it's just fun. Oh, Beto. What's up, dude? I'm here in San Diego, man. I just got here a couple hours ago. It's good to see you. You're so crazy, dude. Anyway, that's an inside joke right there. So, other than the octopus, another one is the what is it called? And I'm looking at a fan right now, and I can't believe I can't come up with the word. What are those animals? Peacocks. So peacocks are all about. Dude, I'll text you. Coming next week where? No, I'll probably end up answering you, but I'll be here till Wednesday night, then I leave Thursday morning. Oh, you're probably talking about Saturday. No, probably not, dude. I gotta head back to Arizona. But anyway, getting back to my point, I digress. Beto. Nah, miss you, bro. So there's the peacocks. So the peacocks are super flaunty. The peacocks are all about staying in the spotlight. They're very like, oh, they're beautiful, but they're not like super into themselves. They're not like, oh, look at my feathers. I mean, they do when they're trying to mate and stuff, but it's like there's a pride and a strength in recognizing that you. I lost my train of thought. So like the peacock, they just innately know that God gave them this beauty, and they can express it and flaunt it in a way that's not like, oh, look at me, but it's more like it's helping you tap into that energy yourself. Maybe you're like, for me, like doing this, getting in front of people and just like being myself was like kind of scary, you know, but tapping into that peacock energy is helping me to talk more and be more open and be more flaunty with who I am, and that's always fun. Another one, other than the phoenix and the dragon and the peacock, there's more, and I'll get to them later. There's plenty of time to get to that, but I just want to stress that before we are working with any type of spirit, any kind of energy that is not of your own innate energy, safely invoking your guides and utilizing discernment. So looking at the fact that we live in a multidimensional universe and like attracts like, you don't want to go into a session where you're calling in your guides and you're in a place of a negative vibration of fear, anxiety, something like that, because you're just going to attract something that you don't really want around. So like we did before at the beginning in meditation, it's bringing that white light in, bringing in that higher vibration so that you're only connecting with energies that are in your best and highest good, that are serving, that can most serve. So knowing that you're always protected, knowing that you are calling on energies that are not of your own vibration, it's just using that discernment. And the way I like to do it is, when you're calling in something and you feel a shift in energy, is it helpful or is it hurtful? Like if you're calling in a spirit guide and you're immediately feeling like oh, you're feeling fearful, or you're feeling scared, or you're feeling like you can't trust yourself, like you immediately want to disconnect that connection with that guide, and you want to reestablish yourself as a light. You want to bring that light into your body, and you want to just set those firm boundaries before working with any kind of guide or any kind of non-physical energy, not out of a place out of fear, but just knowing that we do live in a vast universe. And that's like just going into a new town and not knowing anyone. You're not just going to trust the first person you see. You're going to trust your intuition. You're going to try to see what their intentions are. And it's the same thing when it comes to the non-physical. So just remember that. For me, I like to do white light invocations. I like to intend, you know, it's in my best and highest good, or in the Christed light. Hi, thanks for joining. And just in that higher vibrational state, so that you're not going into the ethers, not going into the spirit world or in the spirit realm, or inviting anything into your home or in your house. It's not going to be for your best and highest good. That's just like not fun. And if you need some more help on how to safely use your discernment or invoking your guides, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to help. And we could even do, you know, some kind of meditation to help you to set up those boundaries and those intentions that can best help and serve you. So there's different ways that spirit is trying to get your attention all the time. And for me, with animal spirit guides, it's been really fun. And like I said before, I'm going to go back to touching between connecting with animals and connecting with spirit animals. So one of my favorite stories as animal spirit guide was a time I was working in Hawaii. I was working at a school, and I met this woman, and she was just like, something about her energy. She was so radiant, so grounded. You could tell that there's like some spiritual nature about her. Well, I picked it up really quick when I met her, and just her vibe was different, you know. But after I met her, for some reason, I started seeing owls. Like I would see in my mind owls either surrounding her. Every time I thought about her, I would see an owl. Every time I thought about or saw an owl, I would think of her immediately. And after a while, it was like kind of weird. It was like an everyday thing, and I was just trying to ignore it. I was like, you know, I don't know what's going on here. I'm not going to go up to this woman randomly at work and be like, hey, there's an owl following you around. Like, no. Like, living in Hawaii, you can get away with those conversations, but probably not at work. So it's funny because one day I was leaving work and I saw her standing by the exit, and she was like, hey, are you going down the road? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going down the road. Like, you need a ride? Sure, hop in. So she gets in my car, and immediately, of course, I think of the owls again. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get this over with. I was like, hey, this might sound weird, but granted, she was like a native Hawaiian, and she was teaching Hawaiian studies, which is all about spirituality and all about, you know, getting in touch with your ancestors and your animal spirits. So I wasn't too hesitant about asking her about it. So I just really wanted to get off my chest because it was getting to that point where I was like, yo, why the hell do I keep seeing owls around you? So I was like, I told her it was a dream because I didn't want to be like, oh, I've been having visions about you. I was like, I had a dream that you. I was like, oh yeah, I've been having this recurring dream with you and owls. Like, are they any significance for you? And like, so matter of fact, she was like, oh yeah, of course, that's my animal spirit. That's my family spirit. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, she told me many instances where an owl would come out of nowhere, just like guiding her way. An owl would be like physically intervene in her path. Like one time she was going down the road at night and an owl came into the middle of the road and stopped her, and a couple blocks down the road like a tree had fallen, and it was just crazy just hearing that she had such a strong connection with the owl, and that I picked up on that. And it was interesting because I was looking for a mentor at the time, and I was trying to learn more about Hawaiian spirituality. So the universe was just like, hey, here's a mentor for you. Because after that, we started talking, and she taught me like all about Native Hawaiian spirituality. We did a couple of ceremonies. I met her family and friends, and I even like had an opportunity to build a little ceremonial pile of rocks. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but just like connecting with her and her friend that had passed over, and him just giving us signs throughout the whole thing. It was just like a magical experience, and I learned, how to chant. I learned a lot of stuff from her. I'm super grateful for that connection, and super grateful that I trusted my intuition and I was brave enough to ask her about it. That's not something that a lot of people do. So that's more what I'm talking about when I'm talking about invoking your animal spirit guide. And when we're relying on a strength, or we're tapping into the strength of our animal spirit guides, it's almost like they're lending you their power, so to speak. And the image that I get immediately is like Goku in Dragon Ball Z, where he's like, "Lend me your power, citizens of Earth." And like that's what I think of. But it's kind of not like that. But it's more fun to think of it that way. But honestly, the animals have. If you study nature and you see the actions and you see the strengths of the animals, like whether it's stealth or it's agility or its ability to survive, asking and calling upon these energies are not only going to help you in your life, but they can help you to get more in tune with nature. I feel like the animal kingdom being the closest to humans in like the it's hard to explain if you're not into spirituality. If you're into spirituality, you know what I'm talking about. Like animal kingdoms, humans, we're like right there. Like angels, like yeah. So like I feel like it's easier for us to connect with animals and plants and the energy of the earth, and that's probably the first place you want to start when you're 10 episodes later, right? Sorry. That's like Dragon Ball Z when they charge up for like 5 episodes and you're just like, come on, I want to see them fight. Good old days. I love anime. Anyway. So, for example, when I call upon animal spirit guides, one of mine that you probably wouldn't expect is the boar. And the boar, like the medicine of the boar is just so down to earth, so powerful. Like when I need to get through something, when I need to get the work going and I just need to go and do it, I'll call upon the energy of the boar. The energy of the tiger I still rely on constantly. What else? I do want to share another story. So I was at a very famous spot on the south side of the Big Island where there are a bunch of dolphins said to be there like all the time. So I went there one day and the dolphins weren't there. I was kind of bummed. Second time I went, you can obviously tell there was dolphins there because you could see them out in different distance, but you could also see a group of tourists following them wherever they went. So it was kind of funny just watching, like every time the tourists would get close, the dolphin would be like, they would just like swim away, and like the people were like, oh, the gosh, almost got it. But it was just like a game of cat and mouse. Like everywhere the dolphins went, the people were going. So I was kind of hesitant about approaching them because I was like, I'm not gonna play into this game. I'm gonna get to turtles in a second. Crazy story to tell you. I love turtles. That's another one of my guides. So dolphins, pod, people following them. Me, not gonna do it. I'm not basic. I don't do that. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill up here, do my thing. And while I was swimming, I could hear like the little squeaks that the dolphins make in the water, and I was like, okay, that's weird because they were way over there, but I kind of ignored it, and I just kind of got this intuitive feeling, like, and all I heard was just play, and almost immediately I had a feeling that it came from the dolphins, and I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna play. So I was playing with the person I was with, like getting all silly, getting in my inner child, like splashing and stuff. And next thing you know, I turn around and these dolphins are all swimming around me. And I was like, whoa, what the crap? I was like, they're swimming around me, and I'm swimming in the wild with dolphins, and we're just like frolicking and playing like a bunch of little kids, and then they swim off. And I was like, that's such an amazing experience and a story to share, because like not only can we connect with animal spirit guides, but connecting with animals in the physical, and they can tell when you come from a place of love, and they can tell when you're in tune, because they will be willing and able to connect with you. Other than that, I've had, I told you I'll tell the turtle story. Okay, chief storyteller over here. One more. So another time back in Hawaii, such a magical place, I was chilling on the couch. I was kind of thinking about going to the beach. I was like, when you're living in Hawaii, it's great to live by the beach, but you kind of take it for granted sometimes. So you'd be like, oh, I live a mile from the beach, but I'm kind of too lazy to go there because I pass by every day on my way to work, and I just want to chill on the couch. So anyway, I was on my way to... I wasn't on my way. I was sitting on the couch, scrolling on my phone in that passive state, and then I just randomly got an image in my head of a turtle at this one spot that I like to swim at. And I was like, that's cool. Like, oh, I think I'll go swim there today. Like, not even thinking like the connection between the turtle and the spot. So a couple things happened, like maybe an hour or two passes later. And I remember saying to myself, oh, I'm going to go check out that spot later. Like, that is one of my favorite spots to go to the beach. So I went to the beach. And next thing you know, I get to the beach, I jump in the water, and there's literally a turtle in the exact same spot that I had in my vision a couple hours earlier. It was like either the turtle or the universe, it was telling me exactly where to go, and I met that turtle there, and we swam together. It was just crazy. It was just a wild experience. So I think that's it for story time. Let me get back to, I digress. Let me get back to my next point, which is recognizing when spirit is trying to get your attention and how to ask for help. So a lot of people will see an animal, and you'll see this like nonchalantly mentioned on like TV shows, reality TV shows, or like even conversations with people that are not even super spiritual, or just like they like either super religious, or like I think just an intuitive knowing inside of us that our deceased loved ones can send messages through animals. So for me, whenever I see cardinals, I know that it's like my grandpa trying to connect with me, just saying hi, like, hey, I'm watching over you. There's definitely ways, and like all those examples that I gave you before of how spirit and the animals have been able to communicate with me, but it's really cool when you can make that connection to a certain animal or a certain, to a certain animal, and realize that it's literally, like when you're thinking of that your loved one in that exact moment, that is actually them giving you that message that they're still with you, that they still love you, they're watching over you, and they want to connect with you still if you're willing and able to. I'm not saying that you have to, become a medium and connect with your deceased loved ones through animals, but it's like, it's cool every once in a while. Like, I know I can talk to deceased people and communicate with them, but I'm not like waking up every day like, hey, let me go talk to a dead person. Like, I got shit going on too. I got work, So it's just cool when you have those reminders and just knowing that there's life beyond this physical realm. And that's probably something I'll touch on in another live or in another video, but that's really cool. Maybe if you guys have had any experiences, let me know. If you've had any deceased loved ones try to communicate with you, or you just have that feeling that they were trying to communicate with you, some animals, because it happens to like a lot of people. And finally, for those of you healers, entrepreneurs, or someone that's like an artist, or someone that just like wants to bring more inspiration into their life, invoking the animal spirit guides is really helpful. And so I'm going to start off with, like, for myself as a healer, when I'm doing guided meditations or I'm doing Reiki and just calling in those animals. And it's funny how sometimes they'll show up in my sessions with my clients. Like even one time I did a journey with someone, and they said to me that a tiger showed up in their journey and it had a message for me. And I didn't even tell them that a tiger was one of my spirit guides. So I think that was just an amazing confirmation that these guides do exist. They're ready and able to connect with you, but all they're waiting for you is for you to ask, which brings me to my next point. Asking is the biggest thing with all this shit. You need to ask before you receive. It's like the law of the universe. If you need help with something, what do? We can either do it ourselves, or we can ask for help in the most graceful way that is in alignment with our highest good and the highest good of everyone around us. So you're calling upon an animal spirit guide that can most serve you, and that comes from I like to just call it a Christed, loving state of oneness. Like, I'm not just gonna call a spirit just because it's a spirit. Like I don't, like, sometimes and I love them, like I'll have loved ones from the other side like talk to me about decisions that I'm gonna make, but maybe they like telling people publicly that you're clairsentient, clairaudient, you know, that's not something that was accepted in their age, but they're gonna like kind of whisper in your ear like, yo, like, don't do that. That's how you're gonna get ostracized from society. So just because someone's in the spiritual realm does not mean that they are evolved to the point where they can give you spiritual advice, or just remember that. And that's not even having to do with animals and stuff. That's just a side tip, just a side note. But just know that there's some amazing experiences just waiting to happen out there. Let me read this. I think I'm walking so much so I don't end up experiencing anything like my fear. I feel God's seeking their help. You know, I've been there too, honestly. I have come from a place where I have had problems with my worthiness and my ability to connect with these realms. For me, my first time I went on a spiritual, like, shamanic journey into myself, it was really hard. Like, I was questioning myself, like things were happening, but I was like, is this just my imagination? And I want to speak to that because, like, sometimes it is your imagination. That's how our subconscious communicates with us. So if you're having these intuitive hits, and if you're having these experiences, don't discount them and don't say that you're not worthy. Just write them down is the biggest thing. Like, remember that they happen so that later on you can see like the connections. Like for me, when I told you, like when I experienced that ghost in my friend's house and I felt my animal spirit guide come in, at the time I didn't know that this animal spirit guide was always with me and was surrounding me and protecting me. All I knew was that I felt its presence and its energy supporting and protecting me. So just, it's like having that faith within that, you know, maybe right now you're not the best at communicating, maybe you have these blocks, but that doesn't mean that you can't work on it. And that's why there's people like me out there, and not saying it like to toot my own horn, but there's literally people out there that are, it's their purpose to help unblock people, because we need help sometimes. We can't do it all on our own. So if you need some more help with that, please let me know. The biggest thing about asking about assigning someone who is spiritually and consciously on my level, not just on the, oh yeah, keep it positive vibes. Oh my God, dude, yeah. And thank you so much for joining. I didn't realize I wasn't following you. I feel like such a b-hole, but so happy to follow you. I mean, I follow you on Facebook, but I hope you're doing well. I'm in Cali too, sending you loving Cali vibes. But yeah, asking for help and finding someone who's spiritually and consciously on your level. What I did for that was, and I know you're really in tune with yourself and your spirituality, so I'm going to keep it straight up with you. Just have that intention to do better. Like, not do better, but just to, I don't even know why that came out, to do better. Like, shut up, sorry. Rewind. Just having that intention to connect with people who are on your level. For me, when I first moved out to Hawaii, I didn't have any friends. I had a dog, and I literally like prayed for that dog because I was like, yo, I need a dog because I have no friends, and the dog showed up. And after that, I was like, yo, I need people who are on my level spiritually and to evolve and grow with, and they showed up. So it's, like I said earlier, just asking for help. You probably weren't there. You can probably watch the replay. But asking for help is the biggest thing. And just honestly being like, hey, God, Source, Buddha, whatever the hell you believe in, like, I do not know everything. I cannot handle this all on my own. and I need some help. I would like some community. I would like some encouragement. And stick around to some of my later posts because I am actually in the works of creating a Earth Angel. Are you ready for this? An Earth Angel Mastery Tribe with emotionally and spiritually mature individuals who are on that next level, who are not just all about positivity, love, and light. They're not afraid to get down to the and dirty. Like, we're evolved. We know what's going on a deeper level, and we're willing to shed these layers and evolve to that next level together, and just bringing that community aspect to it. That's something I've been working on. So if you'd like more information, please let me know. I start thinking about some friends that would, be into that kind of thing, because we are going to evolve. Let's do it together. Let's all hop on this train. It's never too late. Let's do it. And thank you so much. I am happy to see you find your gifts and saying that it's always been there and you saw it. I really appreciate that, because even I didn't see it in myself. So thank you so much. My ring goes so stupid, like it doesn't shut up. So I guess don't succeed in connecting and meditating. Have friends either, and have friends to connect with people. You know what? Yo, yeah, rap group Earth with the Earth Angel Mastery Tribe coming to you live. Yeah. Are you ready? We're coming to you live from San Diego. Nah. But so yeah, connecting with angels, guides, spirit. It's gonna take some work, and you can look at YouTube videos, you can do all this stuff, but what I really like to do with people is to help with clearing their energetic blocks to abundance and connecting with their higher self and finding their purpose. It's all kind of intertwined, and I have a distinct coaching package that I'm putting together to help people with a step-by-step process, not to sound like a sales pitch, but if you just want to do like an individual session with me and really start to tackle those blocks that you feel like you have, it'll help you in ways that you could never understand. Like trusting your intuition and your guides and just tapping into your higher self is one of the biggest assets. Like I've heard someone say before, like animals have instincts and humans have their intuition. Like it is a guide that gets you through life. So not having that connection, not saying that it's the worst thing in the world, because you can always cultivate it, but it's like, let's help you get there. And I would be happy to help. I'm budget friendly, if you need some help, please let me know. That's why I'm here. All right, y'all. I hope that got to everything that everyone came here for. I'm going to open it up for like a couple minutes for Q&A. If you want to talk about animal spirit guides or anything else, I would love to be a resource for you, two humans that are sitting here with me right now. Sales bitch. I could be a sales bitch if you want me to. Nah, just kidding. Buy this or I'm gonna shank you. Nah, just kidding. You guys like this shirt? It says happy. It's from my last job. I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep these shirts. These are positive as hell. This one says happy, and the other one says bless, and the other one says love. And I'm like, oh, I'm definitely using them. I paid for these work shirts. I'm gonna use them, all right? So I'm just assuming that right now, if probably you guys don't have any questions for me, that is A-okay. I am going to do a live tomorrow. That one's going to be a little more impromptu. I might just throw on some jams and just like throw some motivation at you. Just channel the energy of the moment. Just word vomit until you're like, oh my god, I can't get enough positivity. We'll see how it goes, depending on my mood. But yeah, have a great Saturday. Thank you so much for joining. This has been a lot of fun. I am so excited to probably do this again, something like this, probably on a different subject, but maybe teaching a more in-depth connecting with your spirit guides class and offering it online. Be on the lookout for that Mastery Tribe. And no, please don't be sorry you kept talking. I was like hoping someone would be here so I wasn't talking to myself. Like sometimes we're on live and it's like, yo, I'm only talking to myself, and the numbers keep going from 2 to 1. So anyway, have a beautiful rest of your day. For those of you who are watching in the future, hit a brother up. Much love, soul fam. Peace out.